This is going to be a super duper chill, mellow, higher self video. I've just finished meditating and I want to share with you the presence which I've accessed and I'm tapping into. What I realized about 20 minutes ago when I was meditating is that literally love is always the answer. I don't mean that in a general way where I'm just throwing it out there. Love's always the answer. No. It's so specific, man. It's such a direct insight into what's happening here, because all that's ever happening is your ego. It's this battle between ego and higher self. When you really become conscious and you feel yourself again, you get back to yourself. You see clearly. From this perspective, it's obvious. It's love. Always. Always. It's going to sound so stupid and silly, but it's always love. And where it gets really advanced is when you see that things that you don't normally perceive as love are still love, because love is unconditional. The whole thing is love. This is a very high consciousness perspective. It's not the kind of thing that the ego is interested in. Only the higher self cares about this. Because the higher self, it tunes in when we talk about love. It's like, you know what, man? You're right. I know that in my heart. I know that love is beyond my ego. It's beyond my egoic desires and my fears. Love is truer than anything. And love is always the answer. Always. Always. Meditating, man, it's so good. I really recommend, if you're not doing it already, to meditate more. You know, if you're, what happens for me usually is sometimes I'm like, man, I could meditate. I could maybe also read in that slot of time. Maybe go for a walk. But in my experience, meditating is the most direct way in. It's almost like almost a guarantee. It's like you meditate, man, you arrive back home. Home is just a word that means your ultimate true place, your ultimate self. You're going back to what you are. For me, it kind of resonates, especially when you have accessed home. I'm going to say home with a capital H. Home as, the universe, or your absolute truest, highest self. When you've been back there, when you've been there to that place, you now know what it is. This is the thing, man. When you do spiritual work and you access higher consciousness, it's almost like it's etched into your consciousness. You know forever, okay, right, that's home. Home is love. And if you can, you want to be living and being from that place. You want life, relative life and existence. You want to be absolutely showering that with love. How do you do that? It's actually quite simple. The universe and your higher self, it does the work for you when you come from the right place. My suggestion is, get to your higher self. Get to a higher consciousness state. Get to a state where you are more aware, where you have less on your mind, where you're connected to yourself in the moment, where you feel presence. Get there and then just be. Just be yourself from that place. That's how you be loving. Another thing that love means is it means going beyond your character. So usually we live very, very convinced that we are our egos. But that's not the case though. It's not actually the case. It appears as the case, it feels like the case when we're in an egoic state of consciousness. Sure seems like the fucking case. But it's not really though. Not really. Just relatively. Just on the appearance level. really, you are the universe. That's the truth. And if you if you care about truth, if you care about love, you will come from love. You'll go to your higher self through a higher state of awareness or consciousness, which again we've said is access through meditation or yoga or anything else you like to do. And then you live from that place. Live from that place. Right now, I have nothing on my mind. I'm just completely here because I meditated. I surrendered myself. And it occurred to me that love, with a capital L, meaning absolute love, is the ultimate answer. Presence is good, man. Presence is a great natural high. It's love. It's presence. I'm not making much sense, am I? No, I'm just saying some bullshit, spiritual bullshit. The point being, with this video, go to love. Be love. God damn. Man. It's just not apparent to the ego at all that this is the answer. It's just really not. Like, the ego just doesn't give a fuck about it. The ego is just not concerned with it. It's just really not. It just wants, material things and development and material success and material pleasures. The lower self, the ego, it genuinely doesn't care. You can't come from your ego with this stuff. You have to come from that higher place within you. You have to come from your higher self. And you will start loving more. And you will start embodying love more. And what's funny, what's ironic is that feeling love with a capital L is more fulfilling than anything that your ego could ever get. Anything, man. Sometimes I sit and I meditate and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm feeling everything I could possibly want, ever. Because I've surrendered my ego. It's so counterintuitive, man. You'd really think that you want to get to the maximum highest level possible with the ego, but really, it's dropping and collapsing that and melting it into love. Who would have guessed, dude? Who would have guessed? Use your higher self-intuition. That's the only way you're going to get this. Your ego doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't. It's not designed to care about this stuff. It's designed to be interested in the lower consciousness things. It's the dream, it's the game. Your higher self is what is awakening. It's coming back to itself. Love is how this happens, and love is what you be when you pop out of the bubble of ego and unconsciousness, when you wake up. Man, it is love. Man, it is love. All right, man, that's going to be it for me. I hope you've enjoyed this very, very, very intuitive video, this very, very conscious, spontaneous, present video. I just go with the moment, man. All right, brother, that's going to be it for me. Peace and lots of love.